Hello. So I got a new diagnosis, which is CIPO, chronic intestinal pseudo obstruction, which means that my nerves and muscles don't work together to move along food. Therefore, it makes it extremely difficult to obtain proper nutrition and not get really skinny. And since I've lost about 35 kilograms and I'm now in a good healthy weight and I want to keep it like that, that is why I am using my lovely Port, which is a central line that sits right in your heart or above your heart. I'm using that to get nutrition and fluids. Right now I'm not really getting nutrition. I get about 500 calories per infusion, but that's all just glucose and no other vitamins or lipids or stuff like that. But I will eventually probably get TPN, which stands for total parenteral nutrition, which means you get all of your nutrition through a central line. So this is what it looks like. A Port is a central line where you can take out the needle and then it's implanted under the skin, meaning if you take out the needle, you can easily go to the swimming pool or do whatever you want to do and you won't get an infection in your Port. Now with other lines, that isn't really as easy. So I'm quite lucky to have the Port. I already had it from about a year ago when I first got quite sick and lost a lot of weight. So now that we're using it, it comes in handy that I already had the surgery to have it placed. And right now I'm going to flush the Port, and therefore I will need a few things. I will show you, and I will show you how to do it. This is a needle that comes with this line. You stick it in, you put sterile Tegaderm on it, which is this like clear film kind of dressing. And on the end of the Port line, there is a red cap. It has two sides you can twist on different things. I only ever use the big side, this side, because it twists on the end of my line. And this is sterile, so I have to be careful with it to not get any germs anywhere. Other things I need is, this is to flush the Port with sterile saline, 10 milliliters. It's a 10% salt saline solution. And I draw it up into the syringe with this needle. And I use this sterile syringe. Everything is sterile because I can't get any germs in here again. Just saying that because it's the most important thing. You can never get anything on your Port, in your Port, near your Port, because if you do, you can get sepsis, and that's life-threatening. So I don't want that. What I do now to prepare is I twist off the little thing on the end. Now the opening is sterile. Now that I've done that, I take off the paper of the cap and I leave it in its sterile package because I don't want it to touch anything else. I just carefully sit it on the disinfected surface. And the next thing is that I do is I take out the syringe and put it, you can't touch the end of it. I open it like this. Now it's still sterile. And then I open this syringe like this. I open it from the back part because now I can take this, but the front I won't touch because it needs to stay sterile. I twist these two sterile pieces together. They fit like this, and I put it in. And then I hold it like this, and I draw the fluid into the syringe. And that's what I use to flush my Port. I have my sterile water in a sterile thing, in a sterile syringe. So I'm gonna twist off this, put the needle into the sharps container, which is where you put all of your needles and sharps, so no one gets stuck. And now I have a perfect syringe. I will now put out all the air that's in it. Now my line is still clamped here with this clamp. You can easily unclamp it like this and reclamp it like that. And I'm now going to twist off the old connection and hold the sterile thing so it doesn't touch anything. Spray this. Even though this is still sterile, I will spray it. And now I shake off the drops. I can connect it to my line. I can unclamp it. So now I draw back on the syringe, meaning I pull on this part into this direction. And you can see blood is flushing into the line. That's called aspirating blood. That's great, meaning my port works, it's in the right place, and I can proceed to flush the port. So now I stop flushing. I clamp my line. Now that I touched everything, I'm gonna clean my hands again. Ooh. Be careful with everything you touch. And then I'm gonna take my little sterile cap and I'm going to not touch this part, but the other side, or the thick part. I can touch, basically I can take it out like this and touch this side, because now the other side is still sterile. Because I'm paranoid, I still spritz it. And now I twist off the syringe from the end of my line. And now both parts are spritzed and sterile. And I'm going to twist it on, and it's fine. And it can stay like this for a day. You can leave the caps on for 24 hours, but you have to change it once a day. So now I'm just recycling this in paper and this in plastic. Great!